Hello everyone. Today we are going to solve one more problem on assembly of sleeve and cotter joints. This problem was asked in the year 2015 for 28 marks. Figure shows the details of the parts of a sleeve and cotter joint. Assemble these parts correctly and then draw the following views using scale 1:1. It means to scale 1:1. First, front view upper half inch section. Second, right hand side view. Print the title and the scale used. Draw the projection symbol. Give 6 important dimensions. As you can see, details or disassembled view of sleeve and cotter joint is given to you in problem statement. Different parts are rod A, rod B, sleeve and cotter. So for rod A, front view and side view. So rod A MS 1 off means 1 in number and the material is mild steel. So for rod A, different dimensions are 75 is the total length, then 28 is the width of the cotter slot, 27 is the length or distance of cotter slot from extreme left end, then 2 diameter, dia 20 on extreme left end and dia 30 on extreme right end. And then last in this space, dia 30 with tapered end means 45 into 2 into 45. So 2 is the length and 45 is the angle of taper for the dia 30 end. Similarly, rod B, dimensions are same, 75, 27, 28, 2 into 25, again the angle is 45 and length or taper length is 2. Then in the left side view, 7 is also mentioned. This is the thickness of cotter slot. Next we have sleeve, again material mild steel, 1 off. Front view and top view. So in front view of sleeve, again the slot width is 28 and from extreme left end and from extreme right end the distance of cotter slot is 25 each. Then on top view, again thickness of slot is 7 and total length of sleeve is 140, internal dia 30 and external dia 50. Last element, cotter, material is mild steel and 2 off means 2 in number, 2 for 2 cotter slots. Now dimensions are 45 plus 45, so total length of the cotter or height of the cotter is 45 plus 45, 90. Mean width at mid section is 25. Mid section means in the mean line. So middle width is 25, upper width will be greater than 25, which is 27. You can see 27 in the top view, width is 27, and at the bottom face or bottom fiber, width will be, see, upper width is 27, mean width or central width is 25, so the difference is 2. Similarly, we can calculate the width of its bottom base, that is 25 minus the difference 2. So the width of the cotter in the last fiber or bottom base is 23. Then tapered side for rod A is also shown to us. So the right side is tapered for rod A. Similarly, maintaining symmetricity, left side of cotter B will also be tapered. And in the top view, 7 is the thickness of the cotter and upper thickness is 4. So these are different dimensions of different parts. And last, note all rounds and fillets are 4. So we have to use 4 as fillet radius for all rounds and fillets. Now let's start construction work. For construction work, first of all, draw center line or reference line for both front view and side view. Now we have to draw its right hand side view. Right hand side view means view from the right on the left. So this is the space for its side view, and after side view we'll start its front view. And in this problem I will try to start from the side view of sleeve. So first of all we'll draw its sleeve, first part of the assembly, sleeve. And for sleeve, different dimensions are 140, dia 30, dia 50, 25, 25, 28 quarter width, slot width, quarter slot width, and 7 is the thickness. So we are going to start from its side view. Side view means we have to draw two circles of dia 30 and dia 50. So first is the circle of dia 50. Once again, it's better to draw center line for the side view. Right. So this is the center for its side view and reference line. Okay, so first circle of dia 50. First circle of dia 50. Right. And second circle, internal dia 30. So if the diameter is 50 for outer circle, this is 50, 50 means radius is 25. So for internal circle, radius is 8. Yes. So first of all, draw two circles of dia 30 and dia 50 in the side view. Now project limits of dia 30 and 50 for its front view. So for the front view we have to catch these two limits of dia 50 and dia 30. So draw lines parallel to the reference line right. Okay, after doing this, next step is to mark limits of 70, 70 each. Why 70? Because the total length is 140, so half is 70. Or it's again better to draw the line of symmetry for front view. So yes, from the midsection, now from the midsection, this is the midpoint or central midsection. So from this point, half of 140 70, half of 140 70. So we'll mark 70 and 70, right. Okay, so these are different limits of sleeve. Outer dia 50, inner dia 30, this is 70 and this is 70, total is 140. Next we have to mark the slot of quarter. So quarter slot width is 28 and 25 is the distance from extreme left and from extreme right. So from this section 25, from second section again 25. So we have to mark 25. Right, so these are end limits of quarter slot, and then slot width 28 each. So 28 on the mean line. 28 on the mean line means on this line the width is 28, but upper width and lower width, upper width on the sleeve, uppermost or topmost face of the sleeve, or bottommost face or fiber of the sleeve, width will be, for this section width will be less than 25, for this section width will be greater than 25 for quarter. Similarly, quarter slot width will also not be same. Here width of the quarter slot will be greater than 28, and here slot width will be less than 28. After sleeve, next we have two rods, rod A and rod B. So rod A is to be inserted from this side and rod B from that side. Now dimensions of rods are external dia 30 and dia on ends dia 20 and length is 75. Here the length of the sleeve for half part, for left part, is 70, and we have to mark 75. 75 means from this point 5 mm and from this point also 5 mm. So these are limits of rod A. Similarly, we can mark ends of rod B. So from this point total is 70 and we have to mark 75. So extension of 5 mm, extension of 5 mm for rod A and rod B. And for extreme ends the dia is 20. Dia 20 means from this section 5 up and 5 down. Again from this point 5 up, sorry, 10 up, 10 down, right. Next, quarter slot on rods. So these are ends of the rod, and from this point, from the rod end, the distance is 27. So from this point we have to mark 27. From this point 27, it means the total distance or this gap, or we can say clearance, will be equal to 3 mm. Why 3 mm? Because this gap or this length or this distance is 25 plus additional length 5 is 30, and 30 minus 27 will be 3. So this is 3. Similarly, on the right hand side, from this point we have to mark 27, from this point 27. So this is the first end of the slot. What about second end? This end is a straight end or perpendicular to this line, but second end is having some taper. Some taper means taper on the opposite faces. For this slot taper will be like this, and for this slot taper will be like this. So what to do for taper? We don't have to do anything. We have to insert quarter first. Now the quarter for the quarter mean width or width at the center line, at this line, is 25. Now just try to calculate that what should be the common gap for the quarter, right? So from this point, if we mark the corresponding point on the center line, similarly if we extend it and mark the corresponding point on the center line, this is the point representative of the slot end for sleeve, and this is the end for the slot on rod. Now from this point the slot width is 28. From this point the slot width is 28, mean width is 28 for sleeve. It's not for rod, this is for sleeve. And for rod, from this point the slot width is 28, like this. So this is the slot width on rod, and correspondingly mean width of the slot for sleeve is also 28. So these are 2 points. Now the common cavity or common width is 25 minus the 28 minus the clearance 3, 28 minus the clearance 3. So this is the common cavity or common slot width which is available for quarter. and the quarter width is also 25. It means this is the width of quarter. Now for quarter, on rod A, this side is flat or exactly perpendicular to this line, so we can start from this side. So what to do? Mark limits of 45, 45 above and below this line for quarter. So from the center line 45 up and from the center line 45 down. It means right. Similarly, we can mark limits of quarter okay, so these are perpendicular lines or perpendicular ends of the quarter. Now next is the central width of the quarter is 25. Here the width is 25, but upper width is 27. So next we have to mark the width of the quarter 27. Here also the width is 27. Right, and then we can directly join these 2 points and we can extend this line for the lower part or for the bottom width of the quarter. And other thing is this width will be 25 minus 2, that is 23. So we can mark 22 also for construction work. So this width is 23. 27, 25, 23, 27 minus 2, 25, 25 minus 2, 23. Right. Now we can mark the other ends of the slot on the sleeve using this taper. So again, what to do? Draw line parallel to this line, parallel to quarter, parallel to tapered side of the quarter from this point, or at a gap of 3 mm. So at a gap of 3 mm, just roll this roller scale, roll it like this and draw end of the slot. Draw second end of the slot on sleeve, right? Or second thing is, from the calculation we know that the clearance is 3, clearance is 3. So we can mark this clearance from rounder also. So from this point mark 3 mm, from this point mark 3, from this end mark 3, from this end mark 3, and join them directly like this with taper. So these are quarter slot. So this is the width of quarter slot, which is 28. This is the width of quarter slot again, which is 28. This is the width of quarter slot on sleeve. This is the width of quarter slot on rod, and this is the common width, which is 25 for quarter. Now we can finalize our work using dark pencil. As per problem statement, we have to draw its front view, upper half in section. So front view, upper half in section for the assembly, and before that upper part of the quarter. This is arc length, mark center using this arc. So using this arc you can first find the center like this, and from this point this is center, this much is radius, upper part. Similarly upper part or upper curved end for second quarter. For lower part, this is quarter this is arc length, radius, this is arc length, radius. Get the center, this is the center, and this much is radius. Lower curved part of the quarter. Okay, Then we have to show its upper part in section. Upper part in section means for the upper part, quarter is fully visible. Upper part of the quarter or upper half of the quarter, both quarters, is fully visible. Then sleeve is fully visible. So this part of the sleeve is visible. This part of the sleeve is visible. This part is also visible. Okay, then we have R4. For all rounds and fillets, we have to use R4. So from this corner, 4 and 4, get the center and fillet. Similarly, from this corner, 4 and 4, get the center and then fillet like this. Then next is our rod end. Rod end, again for rod end, we have to use 4. So from this point, 4 and 4. Fillet end. Again from this point, 4 and 4. Fillet of R4. From this point, 4 and 4. Fillet of R4. 4 and 4. Fillet of radius 4. No, my mistake. In rods, we don't have to mark these fillets because these are sharp corners as per problem figure. So please don't draw fillets for rod corners. But for rods, these are fillet corners. Again, we have to use 4. So from this point, 4 and 4. Better. From this point, 4 down, 4 right, get the center and fillet. Again, from this point, 4 and 4, and from this point, 4, 4. Right, then sharp corner on rod, sharp corner for rod, sharp corner for rod, and sharp corner for rod. Then upper half in section means again we have to show this line. This is dark visible line. For quarter slot, again visible. For quarter slot, it is visible. And at the midsection, given dimensions are 2 and 45. 2 and 45 means along 75, 2 down with angle 45, 2 down with angle 45. And from these 2 points, to draw lines perpendicular to reference XY line like this for upper half only. For lower half, these are visible outlines of sleeve. And again on the corner we have to use R4. So R4. Similarly from the corner, 4, 4. 4 is the fillet radius. And then throughout dark visible. Now beyond sleeve, these parts are visible. So we have to show them. Right. And remaining part of the rod, extension of any length, extension as per space available, and then with sectional representation. Next, on its side view, again we have to project limits of rod. These are limits of rod, dia 20. So for diameter 20, draw another circle. Better. Dia is 20. Right. And last, for this section, the dia is 30 minus 2 minus 2. 30 on upper portion, 30 on lower portion. So total reduction on the diameter is 30 minus 2 minus 2, 30 minus 4. So second dia of 30 minus 4, 26. And this circle is hidden circle. Like this. And then quarter width is 28, but no, for side view we have to draw 7 mm. 7 mm is the thickness of the quarter. So from this point, half of 7, half of 7. Again for the limits of quarter. So limits of quarter means again we have to use these two ends or these two limits, and upper limit, lower limit also. So okay, so it's better to sketch these limits, or we can draw locus of ends of the quarter like this. So from this point, half of 7, total thickness is 7, so half of 7, 3.5 left, 3.5 right, 3.5, 3.5 vertically hidden up to the limit of sleeve, then dark visible up to this locus. This is dark visible, hidden up to sleeve, hidden up to sleeve, then dark visible up to this line, dark visible up to this line, and thickness for uppermost and lowermost portion or part is 4. So from this point, half of 4 2, half of 4 2 with taper. From this point, half of 4 2, half of 4 2, and then we can join them like this. Okay, now we have to draw hatching lines for sleeve and for rods. So for sleeve, throughout hatching lines at angle 45, and the gap between two hatching lines 3 mm or 2 mm. And please follow same pattern throughout its length. Okay, then for rods it's optional. Optional means we can okay, please don't erase anything. I am doing it because these lines are not needed. Right, so we can draw short break line for limits of the rod to be hatched. And on ends also. Right, and in the side view again we have to hatch the first circle of dia 20 mm, because this circle is representing rod end with section, Last representation of section plane in the side view. Upper half in section, upper half in section like this. Next, dimensioning. At least 6 we have to show. So at least 6 we are showing. Dia 20, dia 30, Next, for rounds and fillets, all rounds and fillets are 4. Next, naming of side view and front view. Next, scale used and symbol of projection. Right, and overall heading of the drawing: assembly of sleeve and cotter joint. Right, so this is all from my side in this problem, assembly of sleeve and cotter joint. Please start this problem from the side view if possible. Draw its side view starting from 2 circles, then project its front view, then finish its front view with cotter slot and with clearance, hatch properly, show all dimensions, then write headings of front view and side view, right hand side view, front view upper half inch section, then show symbolic representation of first angle projection method, scale used, and overall heading of the drawing. And if you have any doubt, any problem in any of the topic of engineering graphics class 12th, please write your comments in the comment section. Thank you.